Hello and welcome back to the Conscious Contact podcast. My name is Genay Peavey and I am here with Erik Bethel for the first time on video. So you were one of my first interviews ever.
Great.
On the podcast.
All right.
I think it was like number 2 or 3.
Okay.
But no one's been able to see you because you haven't been over since we've been in the new spot or on video.
This is true.
So I wanted to have you on. I've got some things that I want to talk about, but this is related to what I want to talk about. But I had something happen to me earlier today. And broadly, I want to talk about health, fitness, working out, goals, all of that kind of stuff. But so part of working out is to be healthier. Obviously, that's a great byproduct of that. You feel better about yourself. You look better, yada, yada, yada.
100%.
But the other thing that I feel like is a benefit of working out is people don't invade your personal space. Do you notice that since you've been working out, people have stopped being so damn close to you all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean,
I need that in my life.
Yeah, there's that. And then, when you look like me, there's a certain stigma,
That you're going to whoop somebody's ass?
Yeah. And it's like, no, I'm not like that. Come talk and stuff like that. But it does have its benefits sometimes,
So I was channeling your energy earlier today. I went to this bakery. The bakery's always busy. There's amazing stuff in there.
Which bakery?
It's delicious. Not delicious.
Okay.
Technically. Not technically delicious. Augustino's.
Never heard of it.
They're only open on Wednesdays and Saturdays from like 9 to 2.
Okay.
And they are slammed. There's always a line. You always have to wait. They have everything from croissants to breads
They have what?
Don't you start that story. This is too early.
You set it
to
up.
Be going
I
in on
knock
me.
it down.
Anyway, I'm not going to tell you where it is now.
Damn.
Cheesecakes.
I'll Google it.
They've got everything there.
Okay.
But they're only open 2 days a week.
Okay.
They are going to be open more in the summer. But anyway, the place is very busy, as it should be. But this woman comes up, and the line starts outside.
Like Maxie B's.
Yeah. So she's in line behind me. She is, and if you're not watching this, you need to watch this one because I have to physically show you. She's this close from me. And she doesn't need to be. There's no one behind her.
Right.
There's plenty of room in front of me.
Yeah.
And she's this close to me.
Yeah,
It was rough.
All in your bubble, you know what I'm saying?
So I'm trying to reel it back. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
She's just that type. It's fine, whatever. And then I can feel her eyeballs drilling into me. And I can watch them through the corner of my eye go.
Like she's sizing you
About
up?
15 times she looked me up and down. And she's an older, this is not a young chick or something that I would like intentionally start a conversation with or whatever.
Yeah. And
I'm like, okay. So I took everything in me not to like snap my head over and make eye contact with her. But I'm a chilled out version of me. It's all interior.
Yeah.
And I try not to like let that out anymore. But we go inside. I can feel her breath on the back of my neck.
Back the fuck
And
up.
this is over 15 minutes of waiting in line.
I bet that
I'll
was
scoot up
agony.
and she would go right next to me. And I'm like, well, maybe she's trying to look at something in front of me. So I would back up a little bit, but she would back up too.
Yeah, that's some weird vibes going on right there.
And it continued for the whole time we were in there.
Yeah.
And I left and I felt like I was going to have a panic attack. I was like, why is this woman trying to be so damn close to me? And I'm thinking in my head, I bet Erik didn't have to deal with this shit.
I've dealt with it a couple times. The last time it happened, I was in a Dollar General.
What?
I was in Dollar General, and some old dude was behind me, and he was just a little too close. I had stuff in my hand, and I just kind of looked back, like, peripheral. I just kind of looked back, and he's back there, just all up on me.
Yeah.
I scoot up a little bit, and he moves up too. And at this point, like, my ass is getting tight. It's like, dude, why are you all up on me like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's plenty of space.
Yeah, there's a whole damn store.
Some people don't know how to, just have their own bubble. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that. But for the most part, I don't have to deal with that.
I'm very jealous. And I don't understand how to give someone the cue that they need to back away from me other than continually moving out of their way. Like every time the person in front of me would scoot up, I
Yeah.
would try not to invade their bubble, but I
Right.
would get close to them
Yeah.
as comfortable.
Yes.
And she would get right up there
Yeah.
next to me again. I'm like, what possesses you in this day and age? You know, it's an older white woman. I
Yeah.
assume she would be like COVID conscious,
Right.
backed
Yeah.
up and whatever. You know, it makes me yearn for
Yeah.
people that are like that, honestly. Like this is helping me
Yes.
soften
I
towards
understand.
people that are still wearing masks and are still staying, 6 feet away from. I wish
Yeah.
to God that
Yeah.
had been the case. But
Yeah.
part of being a big dude, obviously, I'm never going to understand what that's like because I'm a female. There are some big females
There
out
are.
there, but that's not in my wheelhouse.
Some that
It's
go
just
to
not
my
going to
gym.
happen. That to me,
But they're warriors. You know what I'm saying? Like there's
yeah.
a couple in there that are just like, I'm like,
And
damn, like I gotta
yeah,
step my game up. You know what I'm
we've got a
saying?
higher pain tolerance too.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I see with female bodybuilders and weightlifters
Mhm.
is we are willing to be in more pain.
Yeah.
It's not that we can lift more because we're a female. That's never going to happen. There's a difference in strength between men
Women
and
are the
women.
toughest people on the planet.
But we are just willing to be in more pain
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have to go. You guys,
Yeah.
you have to go through a
You
lot
guys.
more than what we do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Potentially,
Yeah.
potentially. But
Yeah.
just as like a genetically, we're predisposed to just have a higher pain threshold
Yeah.
for everything, for emotions, physical pain, all of
Yeah.
that stuff. So it does give us an advantage in that arena. But it is. So what I wanted to talk to you about, which is kind of going off of this, you're in that space, and I'm
Mhm.
sure you follow a lot of people that work out as well,
I
because
do.
that's something you're interested in.
Yes.
And I follow a few, but mostly it's from like when I'm scrolling and
Mhm.
on my Explore page. There's this larger narrative right now that to even suggest that someone that is overweight, and I'm not talking thick, I'm not talking a little large, I'm talking obese.
Mhm.
Even suggesting that being obese is not healthy is hate speech. Have you seen this narrative, the fat phobia?
I've
And
seen it.
I don't understand. It's mostly females, so
Right.
there's also that.
Yeah.
But it started with such a genuinely good idea to like love yourself
Mhm.
where you're at and self-acceptance and
Mhm.
don't live in the future, don't live in your brain where you've already lost that 10 pounds you want to lose
Yeah.
or whatever. It's a great idea.
Mhm.
Wonderful idea. Self-acceptance is glorious, but we've taken it too far, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Self-acceptance has turned into I can be morbidly obese and I don't need to change because this is just who I am.
I mean, when it comes to your quality of life,
Yes.
you got some decisions to make.
Your health.
Right.
You're gonna die.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
And painfully.
Yeah. I mean,
It's odd.
do you and everything, but when it comes to, I mean, I don't see how people can live that kind of lifestyle.
Mm.
It can't be comfortable.
No,
And
no
it
way.
can't be sanitary.
No,
You know what I mean?
it's not. I've
And
had
I- and-
experience
and I
with
don't-
some people.
Right. And I don't understand that. I don't understand how
I
you
don't
can have
either.
that kind of mindset where it's like you look at yourself in the mirror, you wake up, you obviously have some things you got to work on, and you just
Yeah.
think, no, I'm
No.
good.
Yeah, and you say no for years,
Right.
like 20 years
Yeah.
of just no.
Damn,
Absolutely
damn
not.
all that. You know?
And that's the give and take. And I was talking to Luke a little bit about this. There's so much at play
Mhm.
with obesity. So yes, there is a portion of this that is lack of motivation, lack a sedentary lifestyle, falling into bad
Self-consciousness.
habits.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and not wanting to work on it for fear of failure.
Yeah.
But there's also so much mental health stuff that goes, like, in my mind, to get morbidly obese because of all the reasons we've just stated, it's uncomfortable. It's going to make you feel like crap. It's not sanitary.
Right.
There's got to be a lot of mental health issues at play there.
1,000%. Yeah.
And if you're telling people it's okay to be morbidly obese, don't worry about it at all, you are dooming these people
Yes, you are.
to death early from
Yes.
their obesity or from
Yes.
their own hand because of their mental health.
Yeah.
And that is so scary.
It's dangerous.
It is dangerous, but you
Yeah.
can't say that because then you're a fat phobic. Which, what the fuck does that even mean?
I have no
I'm
idea.
not scared of fat people. I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
Like, what
you
does
know what I'm
that
saying?
mean?
But when did telling the truth become hate speech?
Like 6 years ago.
I don't get that.
You know,
I don't get that.
I don't either. And
I mean,
it's
if as long as you don't come off like a complete asshole to somebody,
exactly. We're not saying
but
talk shit to people.
right, but if you have someone you know that
Yeah.
they're clearly having some issues, and
Mhm.
you step in, and it's like, I want to see you live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or even not saying anything at all. They're telling healthcare providers
Yes.
to not use the terms obese.
That's bullshit.
I agree. Like what does that even mean then? Where does medical terminology come into play? Because
Right.
that is a medical term.
Yes, it is.
And yes, the BMI calculator, wildly outdated. Completely outdated. There's
Yeah.
women that are my height, but they are bodybuilders and they have a ton of muscle. And technically, they fall into the overweight range because of the muscle that
Because
they're
of all
carrying.
the muscle.
Exactly. So
It weighs
that is
more
a
than fat.
terrible, yeah, it does. That's a terrible way to judge someone's physical health, the
Yeah.
BMI calculator. Great place to start.
Yeah.
I agree with the fact that people
That
are
shouldn't
saying
be
it's
the standard.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to look at someone's body composition.
Yes.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
But to say that you can't even suggest that being overweight is unhealthy.
That's ridiculous.
And I'm not kidding. Like, this is like legitimate things that people are trying to fight for. I don't get it.
Me neither.
You've
Me
got to
neither.
have and I try to see the empathetic side.
Yeah.
Like the people that are fighting for this, a lot of them are overweight.
Mhm.
You have to be in such a dark place to want to change medical terminology about yourself. You know,
Yeah.
that is a rough place to be, and I have so much sympathy
Mhm.
for people in that position. However, just because you do not feel comfortable doesn't mean the truth changes. And I think
You're
that's
exactly
the
right.
issue.
You're exactly right.
The truth is the truth.
Yeah.
And
You don't have to like it.
exactly.
You
I
don't have to
think
like
that's
it.
the piece.
And you can't argue with facts.
Yeah, well, you can
Well,
try.
you can try.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, if you
Yeah.
have, numbers and stats that back up your fact, then there's nothing to argue
Yeah,
about. You know what I'm saying?
you can't. That is the issue in a nutshell for a lot of things, but specifically this. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not true.
That's right.
Like, and people want to say, oh, well, being overweight isn't actually bad. This is all like patriarchy and their beauty standards. I'm like, no, honey. No. No.
Right.
That is a health standard
Yeah.
and heart attacks, diabetes. I mean, you see how
Especially
high.
with Black people.
Yes, and it's petrifying to me just because I have relatives that have diabetes,
Same here. High
relatives
blood
that have heart
pressure.
disease.
Yeah.
Yes, cholesterol.
Yes.
And
My dad has high blood pressure
it's
issues.
rough, man.
You know?
And some of that is genetic too. So you add that on top of you wanting, and that's the weird thing, wanting to be obese.
That's the key. That's it.
Scary.
Yep.
Like how can you, with all the information that's available out there,
Mhm.
how can you have that as a goal? To just get and stay obese. Like self-love run riot here.
Yeah.
Like-
you're 300 pounds and you're wolfing down, cakes and pies and whatever, and it's like,
Yeah.
let's just go for the record.
Let's
Let's
chugging
just-
2 liters of soda.
Yeah,
And
let's just see how big I can get.
and I think
It's not good.
that plays, there's a part of that plays into it. And speaking from experience with binge eating, like I totally get it.
Yeah.
It's an emotional regulator.
It is.
Mac and cheese really makes you feel good if you've had a bad day.
Yeah.
And if you just let that spiral and that's the only thing that brings you joy anymore,
But at that point, you've given up.
yes, you
You've
have.
given up.
And I think people want the out. They don't want to have to do the hard work. So
Yeah.
if they can change it to where fat is accepted and healthy, they don't have to do
Right.
anything differently.
And the thing is, it is hard work to try to get in shape, to try to stay in shape.
Yes.
I mean, it's weird for me because going to the gym for me is the easy part.
Yeah.
Eating
Oh,
right,
Yes, agreed.
eating right is the hard part.
That is the hard
love
part.
to eat.
Yeah.
I love to eat.
You just got to
you
work
know,
out more.
That's it. I
That's
love
the
to
key.
eat,
Yeah.
and I'm getting older. My metabolism is slowing down. I got to be a little more careful,
Mhm.
about things that I eat. When I eat,
Yes.
I got to
Yeah.
be careful.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got issues that runs in my family. Blood pressure and
Yeah.
diabetes and all this other stuff and cancers. I got to be careful.
Yeah. And I want to live forever. You know
I
what I'm
want
saying?
to live as
Like-
long as I can.
Why not? And we've got such access
Yeah.
to data, to
Yeah.
body hacks,
Yeah.
all of this stuff like intermittent fasting and
Yeah.
keto and different things that work for different people's body types
Mhm.
to make it easier
Yeah.
as it goes for the actual dietary part of it.
Mhm.
And again, I want to make it clear for anyone listening, we are not talking about people that are thick.
Right.
We are not talking about people that are kind of overweight. We are
Yeah.
talking about morbidly obese
Yeah.
because that is what the narrative is. I
Yeah.
remember that, and again, this is years ago now.
Mhm.
This is probably 5 or 6 years ago. And she is morbidly obese. She is not thick. This is not an ideal. Like I am on the thick side. That is A-O freaking K. But yeah, exactly. Erik is agreeing. That is the ideal standard that I have, like body goals,
Yeah.
body standards, beauty standards.
Mhm.
That to me looks better than being this big. Like a cardio body, I guess is
Right.
the way that I would put it.
Good description.
I like a weightlifting
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
Not that it matters because my choices are my choices.
Right.
But she was morbidly obese. They
Mhm.
put her on the cover of Cosmopolitan and promoted this as a healthy lifestyle because she walked.
It's called false advertising.
Yes. And then she also claimed that she had anorexia. And I'm thinking, girl, do you know what that word means? Like bulimia, I could understand that.
Yeah.
Totally, yes, that could be possible. But
Mhm.
anorexia does one thing really well. It makes you lose weight.
Yeah.
And it
I mean,
shows up very
it'll fuck you up
quickly.
internally too. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Your teeth,
Yeah.
your
All
hair,
those acids and all that
all
stuff,
of it.
it really can really
Yes.
screw you up.
And I'm like, you are eating well,
Mhm.
sweetheart. Like that's not
I'm not
unless
saying
you
that's how I lost my hair.
No.
Okay. This is by choice for the most part.
This is by choice.
My teeth are fine.
But it's this thing that, and it started years ago.
Mhm.
And again, it starts from such a great place.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I want to take the conversation next is being where you're at now, because that's the only place you can be,
Mhm.
and not being so obsessed with where you want to go that it causes you to not do the workout, not eat right now. Because you
Yeah.
go, oh, well, I'm just so far away from that anyway. I might as well not even try.
Right.
And you've taken that great idea
Mhm.
and you've spun it into this narrative of not just self-love, it's self-harm.
It
It's gone
is.
so far that it's gone back around and it's
It is.
self-harm.
Yeah.
So just wanted to talk with you about that to see if you felt the same way that I did. Because
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like I'm crazy.
Not at all.
Because
Well,
I see
I
this
mean,
stuff.
we're all a little
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, for sure. Definitely crazy.
But I mean, it's like I tell anybody that works with me in the gym, Rome wasn't built in a day.
yeah,
It takes time.
every day you
It
have
takes
to show
consistency.
up.
It takes
Yes.
effort.
Yeah,
It takes willpower. I mean, a lot of it is up here too.
yeah,
You know, if you don't
For
have any of
sure.
that,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's where it starts. Is
Yeah.
mental.
But
Yeah.
you have to have the mental fortitude to stick with it.
Yeah.
Have a goal in mind, a reasonable goal.
Yeah.
You know, hit that goal and then maybe set another one.
Yeah. And goals are fantastic.
They are.
But if you can't focus on, okay, what's my goal for today? Like
Yeah.
I need to do this type of workout
Yes.
and not eat McDonald's. Like you got to start there.
Yeah.
Or just walking.
Yeah.
Like that is
Sometimes
one of
it's
the
all it
easiest way.
takes.
Yeah. Especially if you are on the higher end, if you are in the obese category,
Yeah.
walking will make you lose pounds.
Yes, it will.
Because you're going from 100% sedentary lifestyle to burning potentially 2, 3, 4, depending on how long you walk,
Yeah.
calories, that steady state cardio.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, even people that lift heavy weights, I think would benefit from that as well because you
Yeah.
don't get a ton of that. You're either doing HIIT
Mm-hmm.
or you're doing really intense cardio or you're
Yeah.
weightlifting.
Yep.
And that, the acronym LISS, low intensity,
Low-
steady state.
that's it.
Yes. Is apparently that's the key.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where you get the most bang for your buck as far as cardio goes, cardiovascular health,
Yeah.
fat loss, your metabolism getting boosted, like
Mhm.
all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Did you start out from a place where you were overweight or were you lacking muscle and trying to build that?
At one point, I was overweight.
Yeah.
I was in decent shape throughout high school. I didn't take my fitness as seriously as I should have.
Mm.
But
Nobody does in high school.
I mean, if I knew then
Unless
what
you're
I
on the
know
football
now,
team,
yeah, or a wrestler or something.
Yeah.
But I want to say it was maybe a year or two after high school, I got up to 240 pounds.
Get out of here.
I did.
Well, you're not a short
And
guy either, though.
True.
So
I mean, I had that working for me. I mean,
Yeah.
my height and everything. But I mean, in all honesty, I was eating like shit.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was pounding cherry Pepsis and
Oh, that's good.
Doritos
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I mean,
The high school diet. Yeah.
yeah. And
Totino's pizza rolls. Yeah, yeah.
oh, they were so good.
Oh,
I would run through a
I'll
bag.
still eat those. On
I would
occasion, if I get a wild hair in my ass, I'll be like, I'm just going to
see
have just a few.
I, a
Just a
few.
few.
I got to get some now. I haven't had those in years.
Dude, they're
But
still good.
yeah, I looked at myself in the mirror one day and I did not like what I saw.
Yeah.
And I was 18.
Mm,
And that's when the light bulb went off. It's like, dude, you gotta do better.
yeah.
I mean, you have decent genetics. Like my dad is 6'6", 320 pounds. My mom is
The
like
fittest woman alive.
5'9" and lean and just
Yes.
super high metabolism.
She,
Just naturally.
really.
Just naturally.
She looks like she works out every day. She
And
is
she will
built.
be 66 this year.
That's crazy.
It's
That's
insane.
good genes.
You know?
Like,
So
dang.
I'm like, well, I need to use that.
Yeah.
And I decided to go, join a gym, and it was hard at first
Mm,
because I didn't put forth the effort in high school like I would have. And
yeah.
had I done that, the muscle memory would have activated a little quicker. But it took a while. But the moment I started seeing results,
Mm,
and I cut back on eating, the bullshit and stuff like that. I was looking at myself and it's like, okay, we're getting somewhere
we're doing
now.
it. Yeah.
And I couldn't turn it off.
Yeah.
And I've been
Yeah.
working out consistently for I'll be 39 in a month, aging myself. But I mean, for like 20 years,
Yeah.
I've been at it, and I don't see myself stopping ever,
Yeah.
ever.
And
I
why
can't.
should you?
I can't.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if you stop, then you lose what you've
Yeah.
gotten. And then you start, as you get older, you start to crane over. You
Yeah.
start to lose bone density if you don't have
Yes.
muscles holding
That's
them
right.
up. I mean,
That's
it's
right.
rough.
It is rough. And for me, you know, the gym is where I feel like I'm at my best
Mm,
because I can kind of tune everything else out.
yeah.
I have my headphones on and stuff like that. I can just, be in my own world, focus on that mind muscle connection, and just go in there and just power through it.
Yeah.
And or if I'm with one of my brothers that works out with me, I mean, or I got like 3 people that work out with me from time to time, but I love it. I love helping those guys out, helping them achieve their goals and stuff like that. And it's good for my mental health.
Yeah. I think that's the
Excuse me, it's
key.
great for my mental
Yeah.
health.
That's kind of the key that you mentioned at the beginning. People get to that point where they look in the mirror and they don't like the way that they feel or the way that they
Yep.
look, and they either say I'm going to do something about it,
hmm
or they say let me eat my feelings
Yeah.
away. And that's it. And it take those tiny moments.
hmm
Every time that happens, you have a choice to make. You can
Yeah.
either go towards what's going to make you feel better for real
hmm
and takes more effort, or
Yes,
you
it
can go,
does.
yeah, a ton more effort,
Yes, it does.
or you can go towards the Oreos that are going to make you feel better right then.
Yeah.
And it's a choice. And I mean, every time you eat in a day, it's a choice. Every food
And what
item
you
that you
eat.
pick
Yep.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And your portion size and
hmm
all that crap. I mean, it takes effort, and I think that's the issue.
Yeah.
Anytime that I start slacking, I know it's because I'm being lazy. I know it's because I don't want to put forth the effort.
That's the thing. It's like I don't disillusion myself about anything. I know that if I had my diet dialed in, I would look better than what I look like now. I would.
I
You
mean,
know,
that's
I
just
would.
chemistry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. But I love to eat.
Yeah.
But I can balance that out
Balance.
because
Yes.
I will get my ass in the gym.
Yeah.
I'm going to the gym after this recording.
I was going to say, you've got that on the docket today
Yes, I
already.
do. Yeah.
I would have already been on the Peloton, but we don't
hmm
have any damn internet today.
Right. That sucks.
So I'm doing that later
Yeah.
tonight, apparently. But yeah, it takes that and I've talked about this on different podcasts. I hate the term motivation
hmm
because motivation goes away. When things get hard or you've been working out for a week, motivation will leave quicker than anything in this world.
I've never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
it crosses over. Your motivation's going to go away.
Yeah.
And then you have to have determination and commitment.
That's right.
And that's it. And
Yeah.
then the motivation might come back a little bit. You start seeing results. That
hmm
motivation will come back for a while,
Yeah.
but then you'll plateau again and then you'll lose it. You have to be committed to the long term for anything to happen, to
Yeah.
affect change in any way, in
hmm
any realm outside of working out, anything. You can't just let that spark of inspiration guide you because that's a great kicker to get you started. But once that leaves, you're going to go sit on the couch again,
Yeah.
period. And you have to have a bigger goal in mind than just the way you look as well. Mine in general, and I try to keep this in my head, is to be able to age appropriately, to be able to still walk around
Yeah.
when I'm 80. I want that. I want to
Same
have
here.
good bone density. I don't want to fall down and break a hip. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want that for me. And it's preventable, but I have to start now. Like, well,
That's
I needed
it.
to start 15 years ago, but I need to start right now
Mhm.
if I want that, because bone density, you cannot get it back.
That's right.
The only thing that you can do is prevent yourself from losing it by having a ton of muscle
Mhm.
to prop up your bones,
Yeah.
basically.
That
And
preventative
use that.
maintenance, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that is the piece we've become, and I say we just as like what I see in America in general. I've been talking about this a lot with people. We are so privileged and disillusioned, and we don't see outside of our own bubble, that we just think we have it the worst, and that this generation has just got all the problems, and we are just so I don't even know how to put it. We're ungrateful.
Mhm.
America as a culture right now is what I'm seeing is ingratitude. Not realizing that there is still genocide going on in other countries.
Yeah.
We are the richest country in the
The
world.
richest, most powerful country on the face of
Most
the earth.
privilege, the most freedom.
And we don't even have health care.
You don't, and we just don't think about it.
It's treated as a privilege instead of a right.
And there is a time that I feel like you have to realize what you've got.
Yeah.
Because if not, we continue down this path of not realizing how good we have it, continuing to complain when almost every other country in the world is looking at us like, how dare you?
Right.
Like, you're spitting in their faces, basically. The fact that me as a woman in really any other country is going to be at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Period. The amount of freedom that I have here.
Even though you still have disadvantages.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Most of those are of my own making, if I'm going to be honest. Because there is so much freedom here.
Mhm.
I can choose to opt out of whatever system I
Yes.
feel like is disadvantaging me.
Mhm.
Other people do not have
Yeah,
that.
they don't have the choice.
No, they have to participate in it, or they go to jail, or they get murdered. You can
Yeah,
get
all
stoned
kinds
to
of
death
wild
still.
shit. Yeah.
I mean, we just forget.
Yeah.
We forget. Unless there's a war going on somewhere, we just forget.
Yeah.
And we have not, this is making me sound like a boomer. We, as a generation, so I'm talking about mine and yours and the ones that are after us,
Mhm.
the fortitude is a little bit lessened. I think that's happened gradually. Like, I don't think that older people are wrong when they say, back in my day, we had to whatever, because they're not wrong. We have so many conveniences
We
today
do. We sure do.
that we take for granted. I mean, even just cars. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
still have relatives that are old enough to know what life was like before that, or not have been able to afford a car.
Mhm. Same here.
Just even that, microwaves, not having to make your own butter
Yeah.
every day or go milk that. You know what I mean? We've outsourced so many things.
Everything is right at your
It's
fingertips.
right there,
It's
or
right
you
there.
can DoorDash it or
Yep.
Uber Eat it
Or Amazon it.
or Amazon it, and
Yeah.
you don't have to work for anything.
Right.
And I think that makes us a little bit of a bitch.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
Because how do you build fortitude when you don't have to? Like, what is how do you even get there? How do you tell people that that's a good thing to struggle?
Right.
Struggle is helpful. You do not grow unless you are up against opposition.
You learn from
Period.
struggling.
Yes, you learn from failure. And when you aren't allowing yourself the chance to fail or feel bad about yourself
Yeah.
or any of those things, you're taking away your opportunity for growth
Yeah.
ever.
And that's not saying fail for failure's sake.
Oh, God, no.
It's saying
Yeah.
it's saying fail, having put in the effort.
Yes.
I've told one of my gym bros, we're working out and he's on the bench and everything, and he can't get the last two. He thought he had it, but he didn't. I said, but you got 6 quality reps.
Yeah.
Take the win.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't really fail,
Yeah.
but use this as a learning experience for the next time you do it.
Exactly.
And the next time he was cranking them shits out,
Yeah.
but also again, a lot of it is mental. You have to kind of just get
Oh,
yourself,
yeah.
be in the right headspace to
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Yep.
And sometimes that's all it takes. But I mean, you have to learn from failure.
Yeah.
I've learned from it. That's why I'm still in the gym.
Yeah.
I fail all the time. I don't meet all of my goals, but I always try. I don't give up. I'm not a quitter.
Yeah, and I mean it's kind of like a logical fallacy. People don't want to fail. Well, I mean you're failing period every day. You know what I
Right.
mean? You're not
Yeah,
the ideal version of
that's
yourself
right.
right now. You
That's
can't walk into the gym on your first day and, deadlift 500 pounds. It's not going to happen.
right. Unless you're an absolute freak of nature, which there are some people out there like that. They just have that raw natural power,
Raw strength.
but
Yeah.
it's rare. It's super rare.
Yeah,
But, if you're not failing, then what are you doing? You
exactly.
can't win all the time.
Especially in like a weightlifting bodybuilder sense.
Yeah.
That's kind of the whole point.
Hmm.
Is
Yeah.
to fail.
I'm never satisfied.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go in the gym. I mean, I might have days where I look decent, but it's like, all right, got to tune up some more.
You got more to work. We all have more to work on.
Yep.
But to take,
Then again, it's body dysmorphia too.
oh yeah,
I'm
and I
never
mean
happy.
that's a whole. That's on both sides.
Yeah.
That's on people that have like orthorexia. I think
Mhm.
is the way you say it, where they over exercise,
Yeah.
and technically it's not an eating disorder, but it
Yeah.
goes along with body dysmorphia,
Mhm.
and they're very unhealthy and they look anorexic.
Yeah.
They're so lean all the
It's
time.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they tear their muscles all the time
Mhm.
because they just
Yeah.
don't give themselves a chance to rest.
That's right.
And it's the same side of the coin for both ends, morbid
Mhm.
obesity
Mhm.
and orthorexia. I mean, it's the same mental issue.
Yes.
It's just one, you're like trying to work on it and then you
Yeah.
go too far. And the other
Yeah.
one, you're not trying to work on it and you go too far.
Right.
It's finding balance
Mhm.
in the middle and realizing like this is just a daily thing.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, you taking care of your health is just something you need to do every day. It is not like a
If you
get
give a
fit for
shit,
the summer.
yeah. I mean, if you
Yeah.
give a shit about wanting to live,
Exactly.
I want to live, Janae.
Yes, me too.
You know what I'm saying?
I think people think they can lean on medication too, and
That's not always the answer.
no, I would caution it's never the answer. Because you're just gonna boomerang.
Mhm.
So with this, the whole like Ozempic, the weight loss shots, it's an appetite suppressant
Mhm.
that's used off label. It's normally for people with a high A1C, which I think is diabetic stuff.
Mhm.
You're gonna stop eating as much because it's an appetite suppressant.
Yeah.
But then when you stop, if you haven't dealt with why you ate so much, you're gonna do it again.
Yeah.
If you don't deal with why you don't like the way you look in the mirror, you're never going to get to the place where you can have a healthy relationship with it.
Right.
No matter if you're the fittest you've ever been or not, it's not going to matter. You could be the most ideal version of yourself and you're still not going to be happy
Mhm.
if you don't deal with the interior stuff.
That's right.
And I know that gym bros probably don't talk about that a lot. It's not like a thing y'all really get into.
Not really. I mean, you can if you and someone else that you work out with are like-minded. You
Yeah.
can have those
closer.
deeper discussions.
Yeah.
But I mean, no. That's not something that's usually talked about
And then
with gym bros.
Yeah, and then
It
I
just
see the
isn't.
opposite.
And then again, a lot of it comes with being self-conscious, or I don't want to seem soft by talking about
feelings.
my feelings and my mental issues and all this other stuff. It's like I want to work out and
Want to be a
pump
man.
some iron. It's like, I mean, yeah, you can do that, but there's other deeper issues too that
Yeah.
should be addressed.
Yeah, I mean that has as much to do with your health and
Yeah.
your longevity as your
And
physical health.
and you can't be afraid to discuss it.
No.
You can't.
Yeah, and the thing that I see a lot too is people that are very much into working out and bodybuilding and they start taking steroids and they haven't dealt with their mental issues, then they just go kill their families,
It can get
or
pretty
they beat the
fucked up.
crap out of people, or they just become such nasty people to be around
Yeah.
because they're achieving their ideal body,
Mhm.
still not happy. And I see that happen in all aspects of life for tons of people.
Yeah,
If you're not happy poor, you won't be happy rich.
That's right.
Period.
that's right.
And it takes effort to work on that stuff.
A lot.
It's not easy, and it is like a roller coaster. It's
Yeah.
up and down, and sometimes days are good and days are bad.
Yeah,
But you have to show up as much for that as you do to get ready and go to the gym and lift weights.
Mhm.
Your mental load is something that you should be working
A
on
thousand
as
percent.
well.
1,000%.
But I wonder, and I know that it's gotten better, definitely. Like, I think of men raised in the 50s and stuff versus men of today. You've got a lot more leeway, and it's a lot more socially acceptable to talk about mental health for men now. But it's
Uh,
still a big block,
it is. I
especially
mean,
for dudes that work out. Maybe beta males, that's a little bit
well, I mean,
easier, but
there's not to kind of get too deep into these political weeds or whatever, but there's this narrative going around that, you know, men are getting soft and this and that, and they don't want to talk about their feelings. It's like, stop with that bullshit. It's
yeah.
like, come on. We should be trying to get better in all aspects of our lives every
Yes.
single day.
Yes.
And when I was a kid, you know, I'm way more relaxed and easygoing now as an
Mhm.
adult than when I was a kid. You know,
Yeah.
I kept a lot of shit bottled up when I was a kid. My mom was like, "You shouldn't do that.
Yeah. You don't even have
You
the
shouldn't do
language for
that."
that as a kid, though, you
That's
know?
also true. I mean,
It's like,
you have to learn and grow from your experiences, and then you can begin to, you know, kind of, you know, crack your own shell open a little bit.
yeah.
It also depends on who you kind of open up to, because you can't
Yes.
trust everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you just can't.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't think there's anything wrong with, you know, coming to the understanding that, you know, in order for me to get better,
hmm
I have to emote. I have to let someone or some people know how I feel, because,
Yeah.
you know, that shit helps.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You know, like, I've never been to therapy. I've never had a therapist. I mean, going to the gym is my therapy, but I
Mm.
do know that, you know, I take comfort knowing that, you know, if I need to talk to some people, I know who to
You
go
have
to.
people.
I
Yeah.
know who to go to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that helps me get through it. You know,
Yeah.
like, I know if I need to, I can talk to you. I know
Yeah.
that, you
Yeah.
know, but I mean, you can't, you know, you can't just be all just walled off and just be in your shell
Yeah.
and keep all this shit bottled up.
hmm
It's bad medicine. It's not
Yeah.
good for you.
No, it will
You
make you sick.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you can't grow from any of that.
No,
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes take a set of outside eyes to look at you and say,
you're believing a lie.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
you got some things you got to work on,
Yeah.
and these are these things: one, two,
Yeah.
three, and four.
Yeah.
So how do you want to go about doing this?
hmm
I will help you.
Yeah. And
We'll
it
do
does
this
take
together.
that. Yeah.
You know, we'll do
Yeah.
this together. I mean, you're never alone. That's why I tell my brothers. You know, I got like 3 or 4 younger brothers, not by blood, but just I met in the gym. It's like, you know, I've been doing this for a long time.
Mhm.
You know, don't be afraid to talk to me about
Yeah.
anything. I don't
Yeah.
care what it is, what it's about. You can talk to me, because
hmm
odds are I've been there already.
Yeah. Exactly.
I've either dealt with it or didn't deal with it and ended up paying for it later.
Yeah.
You
Or
know,
I'm
like
dealing with it right
dealing with it
now.
now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's been times where I fucked up. And it's like, shit,
Yeah.
shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. But
You
then
know,
you can
or
share that with someone else. You can say, "Hey,
yep,
here's a pothole. Don't fall in it. I've already
yeah,
fallen in it for you. I put a flag next to it."
that's it. Because
And move on.
I'm not just out for myself.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
you
seeing
can't
other
be.
people level up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I love that.
And as a woman, I love that you brought up this idea of like the softening of men. And there's two parts to this. And as a female, from my perspective, and with a very manly man
Hmm.
as my partner,
Yeah.
I do see it two ways. So, softening can be something positive. That
Hmm.
is men going to therapy,
Yep.
men dealing with their anger issues, men dealing with their internal struggles,
Yeah.
men dealing with their childhood trauma. All of that is fantastic. That is important, but that should have already been happening. So, that is just getting us back to like normalcy.
Yeah.
But the other part is, I do think men, and I'm not saying all men because I don't like generalizations because they
Hmm.
make no sense. There are specific groups of men that are fighting for this like beta male thing.
Hmm.
They are fighting to, I don't even know how to put this. They're fighting to split the check.
Hmm.
They're fighting to not commit. They're fighting to not stand up for their women. They're fighting. It is this idea that, and I also speaking like feminism failures,
Hmm.
men don't understand how to be a leader for other men. And that trickles down into their relationships with women.
They're too busy trying to be an alpha
Yes.
without actually knowing what it takes to be an alpha.
Yes.
Because if that's the case, like if you're an alpha, if you're a true alpha, People know it. You ain't gotta
Yes.
say it.
No, you are a leader. You're a
You are a leader.
protector.
There's an aura. There is a presence that you
Yes.
have.
It is your actions, not your words.
Where people can just sense, okay, I would follow this guy.
Yeah.
I
Where
would
shit
listen to
goes
this
down,
guy.
I want them on my
right.
side.
I'd be in the trenches. I'd go to war with this guy.
Yes. Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And it's a very odd, it's just, and it comes from lots of different things, and it comes from social narratives and all of those things. But for men to not feel comfortable being in a normal male role because they've been told by people who are incorrect or feminists or whatever that being a male provider protector is like somehow anti-feminism. I don't know where the fuck that got started.
I don't know either.
But a traditional, like, and this is not going to work for everybody, but if you are intentionally running away from that, from being a leader, from being a protector, for showing up, for having that role where you take care of the woman that you care for, you need to look at why you're doing that.
It's cowardice.
I would agree.
It's cowardice.
But when I say that, people get very upset with me.
Well, fuck them, because it's the truth.
It's the truth.
Look, my dad wasn't around during my formative years to help take care of me.
Ditto.
My mom did all that.
Yeah.
She did everything.
Yes.
My mom was and is an alpha.
Yeah.
She never had to say it.
Yep.
It was actions, not words.
Yep.
And she kicked ass for years and is still doing it.
Yeah.
She's the alpha.
Yeah.
I love my dad.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
My mom's the alpha.
Exactly.
Period.
Totally. And
Period.
Same way. My mom was the same way.
Yeah.
But I look at that and I go, yes, she's the alpha. That's who she is as a human. However, wouldn't it have been fucking nice for her to be taken care of?
1,000%.
You
I
know?
think about that a lot.
Like, she can still be a fucking alpha. I'm still a fucking alpha most of the time. But I need, as a woman, to be taken care of by whoever my partner is. Because I'm a woman. Just period. And that is going to make me feel good, cared for, taken care of, all of those things. And I think especially alpha women need that. But they get told that is weak of them.
That's...
You don't... Okay, and I want to say this to all women listening. No one needs a man.
Right.
But damn, if you find a good one and they show up and they be the man that they are supposed to be, that adds a lot to your life.
Yeah.
It helps you so much as a human being. Your mental load, all of those things, like having a true partnership with somebody. But as an alpha woman, you need a strong alpha man to do that.
Yeah. And conversely, I mean, if you're a strong dude, I can't speak for all dudes. I love strong women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether it be physically or emotionally or mentally, because that's just how I was brought up. My mom is the strongest fucking person I know.
She is.
She's a fucking warrior.
Yeah.
And I grew up around that. My older sister, Crystal, she's a warrior.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? My grandma.
And that's where we
she's a
learn
warrior,
what to look for in the opposite sex.
Yeah. I mean, they've been through some shit and they keep going, and that's what I look for, in a woman. If I'm lucky enough to get someone, I will be the provider. I will do everything I can, in my role as a partner and as a provider to meet those standards. But I
you need a partnership, though. That woman has to show up.
That's it. That's it.
And that's the other issue. Women, from what I've seen and what I can see, women are just like the men in this situation. They don't want to take on that burden.
Right.
They think that it's hard, or they've been told that it's anti-feminist or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, why is caring for someone so much that you want to be the helpmeet to them? Yep. Why is that such a negative idea?
It's not.
It's agreed.
Not. I don't understand people's thought process when it comes to that.
I don't either. And to each their own, and every relationship's going to be different. However, I want a partner who's going to look at me and be like, you need to work on that. Right. Or like, you're being the lesser version of yourself right now.
Hold each other accountable.
Yeah. Not be like, oh yeah, honey, it's okay.
It's not.
No, it's not.
Be straight up.
Yeah. How does that help me?
What do I got to work on? Yes. All right, let's do it.
Tell me. And I'm lucky. It hurts sometimes because I think truths about yourself and what you need to work on, they're going to hurt.
They can sting sometimes.
Yeah. But I appreciate it. Even if I don't show my appreciation in the moment. Because normally I'm like, How dare you?
Right.
How dare you think
Yeah.
that I need to work on that? But then I'll sit with it and I'm like,
It's
oh,
like,
fuck.
yeah, she's
Yeah,
fucking right.
damn it.
Damn.
I
Well,
do
I
need
guess
to
I'll
work
work
on
on
that.
it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that that's the bigger picture is you should, as a partner in a relationship, you should want to show up and be the best version of yourself to help them be the better version of their self
Absolutely.
and to find where that coexists together. And most of the time, that is in traditional roles. However, that's not what it has to be. You just have to figure out where to make those two lines
Yeah.
intersect. If you've got a different lifestyle,
Yeah.
it's totally fucking fine. Both of us come from homes that have absent parents, but people make it work.
Yeah.
Should there probably be both parents in the house?
Be nice.
Ideally,
Yeah.
that is, I feel like that is a lot of the reason why there are so many issues with younger generations is because we're eroding that. It's okay if that's not how it plays out, but we are eroding the notion that that's a good thing.
Right.
We're telling people, don't get married, don't stay together, have kids completely separate, and then never talk to each other again. We've created that culture. We've told people that that's what we should aim towards rather than it's okay if this happens. But here's what an ideal situation for a child
Yeah.
would be.
Yeah. I mean, and my grandma, God bless her, she wants me to have kids so bad.
Oh, I bet.
And I would love to, but I
You're like, I
have
gotta
to.
get married, man.
Yeah, but and yeah, if it was up to her, it'd be like tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
But I can't. Everything has to be right. Like just for me,
Yeah.
I
Growing up in that type of home, I totally get it.
yeah, I'm not gonna have babies to have babies. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna just shack up with anyone.
Yeah.
I want it to be right.
You need that
know,
person. You need your person.
I want the environment to be conducive to a strong relationship between me and my partner and the
Yes.
kids.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
That's life.
And I don't
you
think
know?
I'd be satisfied if I had anything less than that.
Yeah.
I mean, now whatever happens, happens. I will,
Exactly.
try to do my best to be the best person I can be.
Yeah.
But I know what I want.
You know what to aim for.
Yeah,
You know?
like that's a goal for me.
Yeah.
Meet a good, strong woman who can help keep me in line,
Mm-hmm.
hold me accountable for my shit,
Yep.
and have a couple of cool kids who will hopefully be big and strong like us.
Yeah.
You know,
You gotta marry
that's the
a
goal.
semi-average or tall woman then.
Yeah,
Is that on the list?
I don't care.
You don't care.
I don't care.
As long as they're there to show up
That's
for you.
it.
Yeah. No, I think that that's really important. And I think that it's amazing for men who are able to talk about it.
Yeah, you can't be scared.
No,
Can't be scared.
because hookup culture, I've been with the same person for 10 years, so I can't even imagine, but it seems terrifying to me.
It can be. I mean, but you have to be an adult about it. You have to know how to,
Well, you need to
handle
know how to
yourself.
make standards for yourself.
Right. But you also have to know how to handle rejection.
Yeah,
I've been rejected a bunch of times. I keep going.
it
I don't,
happens.
it
That's
happens.
life.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
And if you can't handle that, then you're going to have it pretty rough.
Yeah, you
You
got
know,
some work to do.
You can't linger on that. You have to just use it.
Yes.
And just,
Use it to be better.
That's it. Well,
Yeah.
I shouldn't do that on this next date, so I'm going to
Yeah.
step my game
Or
up a
I
little
shouldn't
bit.
talk to that type of woman
Right.
next time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got to, broaden your horizons, your spectrum a little bit,
Yeah.
and just be a little more careful. But
Yeah.
you always have to learn from your mistakes, and you can't be
Yes.
afraid.
Yeah.
I mean, am I afraid of some things? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Clowns.
yeah. But I
Dolls.
have to, look at myself in the mirror,
Yeah.
and say, you know what? I'm not gonna let that hold me back.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let that hold me down.
Yeah.
I got to keep on moving, as the
Yeah.
song says.
Keep on rolling.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
No, I
Yeah.
agree. I think that is a wonderful place to sum everything up.
Yeah,
Like,
use that fear. Use all that
use it.
shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Use your fear of failure if that's
Yeah.
what you've got. Use your fear of not liking yourself.
Yeah.
Use that as your initial spark, your motivation to do something better.
Yes.
Because it's out there.
Yeah.
You can always be better. I mean,
Yeah.
that's to me, that is the point of life.
Right. And it's not really failure if you learn
don't
from
stop.
it. If
Yeah.
you don't stop. It's
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
don't keep making the exact same mistakes over and over
yeah,
and over.
obviously. Yeah. Yeah.
But you make a mistake here, learn from that. Because,
Yep.
I mean, you're always going to slip up and, you know, maybe
Yes.
a couple steps back to get 10 steps forward.
Sometimes you eat half a cake. It's okay.
Or well, if you eat a whole
Strawberry
cake,
cobbler.
if you eat a whole cake,
Yeah.
it's technically still one piece.
Ooh, that's a hack for everybody. Just finish the rest of it and you're fine. But no, I
right.
love that. Finding balance in your life, learning from your failures,
Yeah.
and fail upward.
Fail upward.
Fail onward and upward.
Or marry up if you're lucky.
Or marry up. No, I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming.
It's been a pleasure.
Productive conversation as I knew it would be. And I will link your Instagram down below if we've got any ladies watching that feel like they could be that partner for you, like to shout you out a little bit. Or if you are a dude and you want to talk to another dude who you can actually talk to, right here.
I'll let your boy.
So I'll link him below. All the links for mentions in the episodes will be below, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.